I'm here to speak tonight about a group called the Cape Breton Music Industry Cooperative. And I've been with the cooperative for just over a year now. CBMIC is a not-for-profit organization, and it exists to grow and support the Cape Breton music industry. We're run by a volunteer board of directors with a pretty wide knowledge base of the music industry and general kind of business folks from all over Cape Breton. We exist, I guess, to strengthen the industry and to build our artists and our industry professionals on a regional, national, and international level, or levels, if you will. The mandate of our organization is to help create an internationally recognized Cape Breton music industry that is both culturally and economically sustainable. And I guess the long and short of that is basically that we just want our entire community here to realize what a driver of the economy that music is in Cape Breton. So how do we do this? I'm just going to detail now just a few projects that we have done in the past couple of years that have kind of helped us to fulfill that mandate. First off, I'll talk about the Cape Breton International Music Export Program, which is a funding program that we launched this fall. And basically what that program does is it provides non-repayable grants to artists and industry professionals to export internationally, to develop new markets internationally. So that's one way we fulfill that mandate. Another good example is through a partnership we did with East Coast Music Association last year with a program called Sound Waves, where we did a workshop for a day out at the Savoy Theatre in lovely Glace Bay, and it was with all kinds of youth musicians. We brought them in and helped them to develop both musically and professionally with serious business skills pertaining to the music industry. And one neat point about that is there was a few young folks there last year who were pretty keen, and they have a band called Back Pocket Material, and pretty excited to say that they have just they're going to be doing their first ECMA official showcase this year. So it's good to see that development there, and that's kind of why we exist. And most recently, we just did a mission to the United Kingdom for a program called Showcase Scotland, which is part of Celtic Connections Music Festival. And so we were over there with a bunch of artists, and then we did 3 other showcases in Manchester, in Cardiff, and in London. And we took 4 artists over there. And so far from that, in the very early stages of follow-up, we're looking at well over 40 potential bookings internationally for those artists, and a good deal of team building to help them develop teams internationally to get back to these markets and to repeat their successes there. So that's kind of the how of all this. And what I would like to get to now, and I think which is the most important part, is the why that we do this and why I do this. And these whys are mine. There's some members of our board of directors here, and they may have different ones, but I think they'll probably agree with these as well. And first off, I think we can all agree that Cape Breton has a history that is super rich in culture and music. And we have an inherent pride in our talent and in our culture, even more than the talent. I think that they kind of go hand in hand, I guess. So that's one of the reasons is I just can't help but be kind of drawn into that musical culture. Secondly, and one of the things that I'm concerned with is I really want to be able to build sustainable careers here so that everybody, young and old, can actually choose to live in Cape Breton and have a job within the music industry. And I think it's really important to be able to have that choice, so to no longer have to get up here and leave your family and leave your friends and leave the countryside to go into Halifax or Montreal or Toronto or New York or LA to have a career within the music industry. I know that we can do that here. And you know, one of the things I just talked about was the mission to showcase Scotland in the United Kingdom. And we just took 18 musicians who were all living in Cape Breton, who were all working in Cape Breton, and everybody but my buddy Dave are under the age of 40. So I think from that, I mean, we can really say, you know, this is possible, it does happen here, and CBMIC it operates to help make that even easier still, okay? Talking about the partnership with ECMA and Soundwaves program, one of the things that we did there was that whole workshop. And I think what that does for us, it enables us to inspire youth by helping them develop musically, professionally, see that these are skills that they can obtain. These are things, they're real goals that they can achieve. And through interviews that we do with our board, through CBC, stories that get in the Post, stories that are online and things like what'sgoingon.ca, things like that. These are stories that show these people that this is something that we can do and that we do and that we are doing. And I think that's, you know, that's a huge part of it. And lastly, and this is what I will close with, what I'm trying personally to get across is a new model of success in the music industry, and one that's not based on selling 1 million records, and it's not based on having your own private jet for your band. It's based on something that's a little more humble, and an idea of success or a model for success that says, I can live here, where my family lives, where my friends live, my friend. I do have that one friend. But something that's a little simpler. So maybe I have a small house, maybe I have a beat up car, but I live here, I live with my friends, I live with my family, and I live in a place that I care deeply about and is really important to me. And there are people that are doing that now, and people like Buddy McDonald, who grew up here, has had a long, illustrious career, has raised a family, 2 daughters, and still continues to work in the industry. And I think those are the things, those successes that we need to create more of, and we need to celebrate the successes that we have had a little better than we do, sing them a little louder, I guess. So that's why I do what I do. And luckily I have Jennifer Pino, who is the chair of our board, as a great mentor, and a whole fantastic board of directors that keep me on the course. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks to CBMIC and New Dawn and Nicole and AJ and Carmel and Steve, who will also be speaking and sharing music with you tonight. Thank you very much.